Hello again, you happy gamers, and welcome to another of my rant videos. This time the topic is Xbox and its apparent disinterest in the Oceania markets, that's Australia and New Zealand. And being a gamer since I was 3, living in Japan, I've also been an avid Xbox fan since about 2011, so since the Xbox 360 era really. I look forward to any news, official releases, collector's items, consoles, first party stuff from them that I can. I've also followed Phil Spencer's rise as the Xbox CEO and his overall quite impressive ability to turn this brand around at a time when things were looking less than stellar. Xbox was close to, from reliable sources, was close to closing down, or rather Microsoft was close to closing down its Xbox gaming division, but Phil Spencer managed to convince the Microsoft CEO to give this another try. I do have one major gripe, well, a few, but let's take this video by video. Since my keen interest in all this Xbox stuff in the mid-20s, it's just continued to grow. Alas, unfortunately, I've seen the complete opposite regarding advertising for the brand in Australia, especially in the last few years. Although I will note that Larry Herb, one of the higher executives for Xbox in the US, did visit Australia not too long ago and actually visited an EB Games, but that was on the East Coast. And that was absolutely awesome. A rarity for us here in Australia. On one side of the ocean, going non-stop to the east coast of Africa. On the other, you have thousands of kilometers of desert. Perth is the most distant capital of any state in the world. So I didn't expect him to come and visit Perth. In fact, very rarely do gaming figures do. My issue though is with the advertising, or rather lack of, when it comes to the Xbox brand. I won't get too much into it, but what is occurring in the Northern Hemisphere, like the cross-promotions of Halo, like Halo and the fake nails stuff. In Australia here, I've generally seen a slide into darkness, especially since the Xbox One era. I remember popping down on the release of Halo Infinite at my local EB, or essentially GameStop, for you people outside of Australia. This store has been refurbished and enlarged after moving from one side of the shopping centre to the other, and in fact it's quite nice. In fact, you can actually check it out on one of my recent visits in the short sections of the videos. Anyway, Halo Infinite, the store had one life-size cardboard cutout in that corner dedicated to this game, and that was it. And this was Xbox and EB Games trying to market the games on its day, one of the biggest first-party releases for Xbox in quite some time. I found the whole thing pretty underwhelming. Anyway, I come by to pick up an Xbox title. I'm either told that they don't have any, that it's still on the way, or that I should buy a PlayStation copy. I have no idea what Australia and New Zealand Xbox does during the day, but I can tell you this much. Them updating their logo due to something fashionable on the day or the week or month does not count. It appears to me that Phil and his company has zero interest in uplifting its brand to where it was in Australia during the Xbox 360 era. In fact, Sony has such a foothold here, it doesn't even really need to do anything. Just invite the local popular Twitcher or YouTube content creator, and that is about it. Sony is quite obviously able to do whatever it wants, given it today's news about the increase in PlayStation Plus subscribers by a significant amount worldwide, and also in Australia the base Premium Plus subscription has gone up to $95, nearly $100. That's $20. That is a lot. These guys are doing it 24 hours before the release of Starfield on Game Pass. So it's pretty obvious that Sony thinks it can do whatever it wants, and its customers will follow suit regardless of the price they have to pay. Meanwhile, what is Xbox Australia doing? Absolutely nothing. You know, I'd love to see something for them when they release Starfield. Hopefully something tomorrow will be of interest at the store, but I'm not expecting too much. Basically what I'm trying to express in this rant is very simple. Start advertising your products like For example, the God of War fairy tale story reading from last year from Sony. Money is the issue, fight for more funding, and that's Australia, New Zealand, Xbox. But for crying out loud, start doing something, perhaps cross-promotional with EB Games. Bringing in more Xbox merch through them is a good thing, but it's not enough to advertise your top products. Forza, Motorsport, Starfield, anything else coming out at the end of this year. Set up a booth where people can play these games. Essentially, do something, because at the moment, as a big Xbox fan, I am hearing and seeing pretty much nothing. Alas, if this continues, you'll continue to see your brand drop further and further down the food chain here in Australia. The additional issue with all of this is obviously things like collector's items and special releases. Most of the time, Australia and New Zealand gets forgotten about, or if lucky, released 6 to 12 months later. And for gaming fans or Xbox fans, you really have three choices: deal with it, or two, buy it ridiculously exorbitant prices from scalpers on eBay, or three, move to America. Not much for a choice for veteran gamers or any Aussie gamers, to be honest. Not much of a choice. So it is essentially left to all of us to keep banging on Sony and Xbox's door to realize we exist. There is a lot of us, and they ought to realize that sending more of their merchandise and limited editions can only be a good thing. Anyway, thank you if you managed to survive all the way down here. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video and a comment. Perhaps subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video.